Hey everyone, welcome to Paranormal Wavelengths. And as usual, anyone that watched the show 6 years ago, 8 years ago, there's always been tech difficulties, and as usual, we had some tech difficulties. That's why we're a few minutes late. But yeah, it's been 6 years. 6 years have passed since I've done a live broadcast for the show. It's crazy. The last time I did a live broadcast, my oldest daughter was 16, and my next son was only 12. She's married almost a year now, and my other son's graduated from high school. That's how time flies by. It's crazy. But I hope everybody, I put a link up everywhere, but I don't think we linked to it right. This is the first time doing it on YouTube. So it's kind of a little hard. We're still kind of getting our direction here. But the one thing I know is
Gavman44 says he got the link.
Oh, good. So it did go to like as anybody, I'll admit right now, live on YouTube, people know this. I've admitted over the years, I am not tech savvy. That's why the guy behind the camera is my 14-year-old son, and he is like Mr. Tech Nerd Awesomeness. So he's helping me. So we're at the cemetery. I'll say it's undisclosed cemetery because I don't want everyone coming out here. But a friend of mine, he runs another team called Florida Unknown, and he's a CSI cop for the local police in this area. So he gives us access. All I have to say is his name if the cops show up, and we can hang out in the cemetery here and do our thing. But we'll come down this way. But yeah, I just got to get back in the groove here of talking and all that in front of the camera. I do have to say, one thing I did do Friday night. I've been doing this Instagram and everything, but I don't know how to get links to everybody. So I started doing messages to people. Well, you can only get 31 people in the group. So I had like 20 groups of 31 people putting a message out about the channel and everything.
RS Paranormal says, hey.
Hey, RS Paranormal. But the cool thing is we'll keep walking this way. It's freaking, I'm in Florida. You can't tell. It's about 100 degrees here. But this Instagram I started, there was so much positive feedback and people talking between each other and all these little separate groups of 31 people, people sharing their links for their YouTube channels, people in there, hey man, I subscribe. And it was just awesome. The connection people were making and just sharing and everything. This is what I want the paranormal field to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think we're all going to sit down somewhere and go hold hands and sing Kumbaya. But it would be nice everyone showing respect to each other and just sharing stuff to help push the paranormal field in the right direction. But so I was doing the Instagram thing, and because I was getting so much positive feedback in all these little groups, I'm like, man, I want to connect all the groups. So I actually made a Facebook page called The Paranormal on YouTube, where paranormal YouTubers like me can post their links and post their uploads and different stuff they're doing, their evidence and things like that. But it's just not for us. It's for those people that aren't YouTubers, but they love to watch the shows. It gives them a place now, a variety of us. They can see what we're doing, because my opinion is, I don't care if you have 1 subscriber or 0 subscribers or thousands. Everybody's the same in my book. We're all doing the same thing. Just like I always say, people in the paranormal field, if you've been doing it, it's your first year, or you've been doing it for 30 years or more, we're all doing the same thing. Everybody has something to contribute. I always feel everybody has a voice that should be heard in the paranormal. Well, except those really crazy people, maybe they shouldn't be heard, be left in the corner, but I try and stay positive. But yeah, this is the cemetery we're at. Over the years, I've come here investigating with some teams. The first time I was here, I think it was like 2009. I was with a team called Florida Ghost Team, and we were doing a residential investigation. They were having some kind of bad crap going on at their place. A lot of negative stuff. And the leader of head person of Florida Ghost Team was with us. She was a medium, and she was getting this weird feeling. And she goes, "Is there a cemetery around here?" And these people are like, "Yeah." Well, they're paranormal investigators too. She goes, "Have you guys investigated there?" And they're like, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, we need to go over and check it out. I just got a message, just a weird thing." So we came over here, and we'll keep walking this way. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it. Back over in the corner there, we're going to walk towards it. There's a crypt back there. But it turned out these team wasn't doing things, legit things in the cemetery. It turned out, when we get over there closer, I'll show you, there's a flower, big two flower pots on each side. Well, it looked like someone was doing like a little ritual or something. There was burnt stuff inside it, and it was tipped over. So my friend Sean, the medium, she said now she understood the message. The spirit that was messing with them was very upset that and the message she was getting was the spirit was pissed that they came in the cemetery and screwed with it. It's his cemetery to protect, I guess. And she actually found the guy's name. It was a soldier that had, I'm not sure how far back, but he was a soldier. I guess he was still protecting. So it was kind of cool. That was my first experience here. Come this way, guys. Also, if you're just getting in the chat room, if you have any questions or you want to do a shout out, my guy running the camera will let me know. But if you're just getting in the chat room too, I've been talking about my first experience here investigating and talking about all the positive energy that's being flown around right now with Instagram and the new page on Facebook, The Paranormal on YouTube. It's really going awesome. But plus, I didn't even tell you, some people might not know, my name's Bob. I guess I should have said that at the beginning, but it's kind of unorthodox how I do the show sometimes. But yeah, my name's Bob, and I've been doing investigating and exploring the unknown for about 20 years now. It's been, you don't realize when decades pass. We're going to keep making our way back by this crypt. The funny thing is, right before we started, with the tech difficulties and that, there's a railroad tracks right over here. And right when we were getting ready to go live, but we had tech difficulty, a freaking train come through. I'm like, oh great, we're gonna start the show. You won't be able to hear anything I'm saying. And I guess I keep thinking, because I used to do this show back in 2009, 2010, and 2011, and prior to 2012. Some people that you might not know.
Gavman said, so for this, have you seen any figures in any of your investigations?
I've seen apparitions. I've seen some shadow people. Not here at the cemetery, but I've seen it investigating over the years. I haven't caught them on camera yet, or at least I've caught some stuff, but I had too many questions about the picture. If it was just the way the flash hit or something, it was matrixing something. So I don't know evidence, but I have personal experiences of a shadow guy and a full apparition. So what?
And audio too.
What?
We've got good audio.
Oh, sweet. So everyone can still hear, even with the planes going above us. That's the bad thing when you're outside, trying to with all the wind and all the contamination here. That's why I'm not a big fan. I do investigating cemeteries.
Gavman said that's really cool.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. The thing about cemeteries is I don't mind doing them, but they're very hard because there's so much contamination with the wildlife running around. When it's dark out, you don't see everything moving around. Right now, it's a little bit breezy. I don't know if you're catching any of the wind, but most anybody knows you got that little recorder going. You don't hear it then, but when you go to listen to it later, that wind can be real loud with headsets on, listening for EVPs and that. But we're gonna keep moving this way. Oh, and I kind of bounce all around here. I got ADHD. Sometimes it works to my advantage when I'm being creative, but So people that don't know me, a lot of people ask, what did you get into the paranormal field for? And I've always been interested in the unknown, even when I was a kid. I watched those different sci-fi programs, Star Wars, The Bionic Man, I was into all the weird sci-fi and horror stuff and everything that was weird. And then about 23 years ago, my ex-wife and I, our first daughter, she passed away of heart disease. And here, come this way. And the first couple of years were kind of hard. Everyone goes through that anger, kind of mad at life and everything. Then once you get past that, you start thinking about, you got questions you want answered. So I started looking around, exploring, seeing if we can communicate with the other side or not. And the funny thing is, just a couple years ago, I was a guest speaker at an event here in Florida, and the guy before me was doing his lecture about you don't feel there's any coincidence. Things happen for a reason, fall in place and that. And all these years I've been looking for that one answer. Can I communicate with the other side? Can I get a message from my daughter? That's all I thought I was doing. And then I started realizing I've met so many awesome people in the paranormal field going to different conventions, different investigations. And I realized maybe that's why I got partly into the paranormal, was a lot of people have helped me heal over the years. I'm back to myself, goofy, doing silly stuff. And sometimes you don't know what your purpose is, and sometimes you finally find it. It only took me 2 decades. Some people do say I'm a little special, a little slow. But we're making our way back to this crypt. And if anyone in the chat room's got any other questions or shout outs, keep it going. Oh, before we get back by the crypt, film over this way. Over here, just stay right here.
RS Paranormal said, I've worked with some awesome investigators.
It's awesome. I'm a people's person. I got people skills, people. And I just like connecting with people and talking. And that's why, like I said about the Instagram thing, there's just so much positive energy people giving out there. And it's just awesome. I understand people can't be positive 24 hours, but I don't think you can be negative 24 hours. I know some people that can be, and I feel sad for them because they're not really living life because they're always looking for the next negative thing, The what? What, sound?
Yeah, everything.
Everything? Hey, yeah, actually, I guess we should have asked this about 10 minutes ago or so. Is the quality, the sound, and the quality coming through good? This is our first live streaming with a cell phone, and we should do good. We got a huge cell tower in the back of the cemetery here. Just give us a thumbs up or something on the messages. But over this way, in this area, when I had my team out here investigating, we had 2 groups. And the lady on my team, her name's Pam. She was my medium. She was my partner in crime and everything. And she was with one group. And I was across over on this side. And I started making my way, and I see her group's moving really fast across, like something's happening. So I get over there, and I ask her, I'm like, hey, what's up? And Pam's like, she was getting some messages.
Gaffman44 said, this is my first year doing this investigating thing, and I'm really enjoying it. Also, I like cryptozoology, and the sound clarity is good. RS Paranormal said, I actually had a couple incidents where I had to get help from Jason Hawes.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. And like I said earlier for you guys, I'm the type of person, I treat everybody the same. You've been, like you said, you just started this a year ago doing investigating in that. You come out, if I was on an investigation with you, I don't treat you any different than anyone else. I think you got stuff, maybe a different view than what I've seen for the last 20 years. The one thing I tell people is the paranormal field needs gone is all these egos. You got some people that have egos and they feel like, well, I'm the top dog. I've been doing this long enough. You don't know what you're talking about. Right there, I don't think you can really learn anything anymore because you kind of close yourself off thinking that you know everything because you got experience. I mean, I've got a kid I investigate with, Jonathan. He's from France. And he always got different little ideas, and I'm like, he asked me, what do you think? I'm like, hey, try it. Let's try it out. Let's try that theory or try that equipment out.
RS Paranormal said he's really awesome and down to earth. I think he's talking about Jason Hawes.
Oh, sweet. That's the biggest thing. You got to be, I've met some guys, like, I don't know if you know Brian Canu from Haunted Collector. I met him before the Haunted Collector came out, and he's still the same person I met before then. He's still the same down-to-earth person, really cool to talk to and that. Kind of a geek like me. He's into all the superheroes, Star Wars movies and everything. But when we were investigating here, the medium on my team, Pam, came over with her group and said she had gotten a couple of messages from spirits telling her we needed to get out of the cemetery here. And she said right after that, her and her group saw about a 250-pound boar, maybe 300 pounds. She said it was huge right in this area over here. And I had a motion detector light on one of the stones. It triggered. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, hell, I go running over to see the boar. All I saw was way in the back field, this black shadow. Boom, gone. And where this cemetery is located, it's a lot of industrial. There's a hospital over here, and a lot of industrial. And I'm like, there's not a lot of wooded area out here for boars to be hanging out. So I kind of played it off of, maybe it was a spirit boar to scare us out of here because the spirits didn't want us. I don't know. But about a month later, I came back to investigate with a different group of people. I work with special need adults. I've been doing it for 15 years. That's my regular job, working with special need adults. I take them out in the community. I work for Easter Seals. But one of my friends, consumer, he's in a wheelchair. He's just like us thinking that, but he's in a wheelchair, wanted to investigate. I bring him out here with his family. We're walking around. Like I'm telling you the story, I'm telling his mom and dad about this boar. And they go, oh, like that one there? And they, what?
Gavman said, how do you go on investigations with other investigators?
It's all about connecting with people in your area. That's why I'm saying you got to find a group of people that are willing. I mean, some teams aren't willing to bring other people in. Me, if you want to investigate with me, I come out and investigate. I don't think there's any wrong way investigating. I think there's proper protocols you got to follow to do to keep the contamination and false evidence down. But you can pretty much come out. I'm not really big on Ouija boards either. I don't really like people using the Ouija board because the Ouija board itself isn't evil. But people don't realize, what do people associate with a Ouija board? Negativity, evil from the movies and that. Subconsciously, you're sending that energy out into the universe. I think that's why a lot of negative stuff come back. But it's all about networking. It was RS Paranormal, right?
Wait, no.
Who was
that
that?
was Gavman.
Gavman. It's all about networking with people in your area. It takes a while. I only knew a few people when I first started, but I'm kind of a gabber. I like talking with people. Oh, we're going to walk over this way.
RS Paranormal said there's too many variables as well.
Yes, that is very true. I mean, I don't know. I joke around. I keep telling people I'm going to bring a magic 8-ball out to investigate, just to screw with people, see what they say. Be shaking that 8. Anybody here? Try again later. I'm like, oh, keep saying that. But yeah, I've gotten people bringing out dowsing rods. I got one of those. What is that little electric ball thing? You put your fingers on it. Do you know what it's called?
Oh, it's kind of like a Tesla ball thing.
Yeah, like a little Tesla ball. I'm bringing that on the next investigation. Because you got to admit, how cool would that be? It's sitting in the middle of the room, a little electricity going off, then all of a sudden you see 5, and you're like, holy crap, someone's hands on there, and we're all sitting away from it.
RS Paranormal said that'd be hilarious about the 8-ball.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to, because sometimes I do, sometimes some of my friends ask me, they do events, and I get asked to come out and do, be a guest investigator, lead groups, and I'm just so bad when I pull out that magic 8-ball one night and see if people, holy smokes, and if people are really into it, I'll bring a bunch of them, sell them.
We're about to hit 20 minutes too.
Sweet. But here, I'm backtracking what we were talking about before.
Also, I've noticed a bunch of people are posting in the Facebook group.
Oh,
I've
sweet.
seen like 3 or 4 new notifications saying people have posted.
This is what I was talking about earlier. The first time I was in this cemetery, we were doing that residential, and those people were having problems. They were investigators, and we came over here. It was this one right here. There was no flowers in it. There was ashes in that, like they had been burning something and doing a ritual, and it was tipped. Well, it was tipped over with all the ashes in it, and that's why I think the spirit was messing with them, because it's all about being respectful. I'm not much into provoking. I know if you've checked out our video, the courthouse, one of my friends, he instigated a little bit to get the judge, kind of riled him up to get an answer, which he got a really good answer. He was not happy. But yeah, I don't believe in yelling and swearing at spirits, because I always ask people, would you go up to someone on the street and, yell at them in their face and tell them to F off or something? Probably not, because they'll punch you in the mouth. So you mess with spirits, guess what? They'll come back to your house and screw with you. I've seen it happen to a lot of different people. And it doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're demonic or demons. They're just a spirit that you pissed off. And it's just one of those things. Right in the middle of our thing, we have someone driving in. I don't want to be by where they're going to be talking, so we'll go this way.
We have the mystical wild car.
But over here, this is a railroad track, and I know the railroad track helps stir up activity here too, with the tracks being iron and everything. And I'm just taking a 2-minute seeing which way they're going to go. They're going to come right past us. Hi. Don't mind us. We're just doing a YouTube. Oh, they're stopping. Let's go this way so I don't look too weird. Keep moving this way.
Oh God.
What?
My friend Gavin just said, "Hola, Senor Carter." What's up, Gavin? Walking around the cemetery.
All right, I'm just trying to, I don't want to disrespect anyone that's visiting their loved ones here. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Let's go this way. That's the only thing when you go during the day. People might come in, and I'm all about being respectful to people. But, oh, you don't want to be right in the sun, so let's go this way.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I always think when I do investigating in that, people sometimes ask me when we do an EVP session, I'm all about introducing myself and then have everyone in the group introduce themselves. Part of that is so I get a voice stamp of everybody in the group. So when I go back through the recordings, if I think it's someone thinks it's an EVP, it turns out to be one of the group members. Plus, I think it's a respect thing. You should introduce yourself. I always think in my head, if I was a spirit and you come into my home, my domain, and you started asking me question after question, like you're interrogating me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not answering you. I'd be like, but you come in, introduce yourself in a respectful way, and you're talking, I might, the spirit, you might have a better chance communicating with the spirit in that. But hey, if you are doing it like that, when I started off, I realized
RS Paranormal said, "I provoke only if I have to, because I had someone provoke and spirit lashed out at my team after I told them to not provoke. They are no longer allowed to work with my group."
Oh, so you weren't provoking, you were telling someone not to provoke, or you provoked the spirit. You had to.
They said someone provoked the spirit and it lashed out at them.
Okay.
So they told the person not to.
Yeah. Well, technically, you really weren't provoking. You weren't then provoking the spirit. You were standing your ground telling them, listen, like I always tell people, if someone gets pushed or touched in my group at a location, I'll always tell, I go, hey, we did not give you permission. You need to back off. No one in our group gave you permission to touch or anything or harm us. And sometimes it worked. Well, you seen some? Keep looking over there. I thought another car was coming in. But and that's not really provoking. That's standing your ground. That's happened at some locations where things were going on that shouldn't have been going on. So I would just tell whoever was there need to back off from that. But yeah, if I get people in the group and they're freaking come down this way. I usually tell people if they're in my group and they're provoking, I just let them know. Actually, technically, when we first start, I usually tell people right off the beginning, if you're out with me, there's no provoking. If you don't like it, then go home. I don't care what you do on your own, but if you're out with me, you know, I've invited you out. Follow my rules at least. And they're not many rules. I'm not really a big rule person, let me tell you. But, oh, so back to the board thing. I was answering the question. The second time I was here, I was telling you I had a kid in a wheelchair. Not a kid, he was like 20, probably 24, 25 with his family. And they're like, when I was telling them the story about the boar, the family member go, oh, like that boar over there? Sure enough, I see a boar on the other side of the canal, about the same size my friend Pam and them saw. And it's running. And I'm like, oh, hell, it's not a spirit boar. It's a real boar. So I asked the family, I go, hey, we can pack it up to be safe and that. And they're like, oh, no, whatever their son's name, Davy or whatever, we'll put Davy in the front in a wheelchair. I'm like, what? And then he lifts up his shirt. He got like a Dirty Harry looking gun.
RS Paranormal said, I told them not to provoke at the beginning, and they provoked anyway. The spirit lashed out at my team after the guest provoked. Sorry, that was confusing the way I worded it at first. My bad.
No, that's cool.
You're fine.
But no, if you told them at the beginning, and then they decide to provoke, then that's when you cut it off, man. You're in charge. Come this way.
Creepy Colossal said, so.
Is that your friend?
No. No, you're a friend now.
All right. Hold on. I'm trying to be respectful. Okay. Let's go this way. It's all about being respectful. For common courtesy, which people are losing nowadays.
We're at 27 minutes. Already.
Okay. There was a family just in here, looked like a husband and wife or whatever. They were at it, showing respect to someone. So that's why I kind of wasn't saying stuff and moved. It's common courtesy, people, and a little bit of respect. So we'll head back over this way. But yeah, this kid in the wheelchair, when he pulled his shirt up, he had this huge gun, like a Dirty Harry gun. And I'm like, oh, he goes to the shooting range. He's in these clubs and all that and won all these awards and that. And I'm like, all right, if you're okay with it, we pushed whatever his name, I think it was Davey or something. We pushed Davey in the front with the gun. The boar comes. He said he would take it down with one shot. So I was like, I had faith that he would. He looked pretty serious about it. But,
Creepy Colossal said American graveyards are a lot nicer and cleaner than UK graveyards. So he must be from the UK.
Well, I haven't been to the UK, but most likely they're nicer than that because they're probably not as old as yours. I mean, this graveyard here is probably maybe 100 years old. I'd maybe say. I have to see. That's where the box. Or if you don't know me yet, I'm a huge Supernatural fan, and my buddy Rich Valdez, he's a big Supernatural fan. I'm Dean, and he's Sam. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't look anything like him. We don't look like him, but our personalities are like the characters. I'm the guy, when everyone's doing the research, I'm the guy, I'll go get snacks. I'll be back.
Creepy Colossal said, LOL, we have graveyards from the 1700s.
That's what I'm saying. That's why yours probably don't look as pretty as ours. Watch yourself there so you don't fall.
Oh, my friend Gavin just said you're at 97 subs.
The what?
You're at 97 subs.
What, thumbs?
Subs.
What's that? Oh!
Subscriber.
Oh, sweet. I don't know. I was like, what the heck? But,
RS Paranormal said there's a dean of their group.
yeah. I just got that personality of Dean of, I'm the person that wants to do trial and error, man. Let's go do it. My buddy Rich, that I say is like Sammy, he gets the books out. He wants to read everything. And he has a phobia of clowns, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, yeah.
Creepy Colossal said, for sure, man, but even our World War II cemeteries have been destroyed. It sucks.
It's kind of
stupid.
That kind of does suck. Now, when you say they're worn down, is it just by natural erosion or weather in it, or are people going in there desiccating them? But that's a big word. Let me know. We're gonna keep moving this way.
We should go to Ireland. Go to Ireland, Britain.
I got this guy on the YouTube, Haunted Places. He's always putting videos up. They're freaking awesome. It looked like he just left his backyard and went out somewhere, and the place looks like it's about 1,000 years old. Here in Florida, I get excited. We get a building that's over 100 years old. I'm all like, yay!
Creepy Colossal said they just haven't been looked after. Some people do go and destroy them, and some is due to the weather.
Sorry, we had some tech difficulty. My shoe came untied. I didn't want to fall over.
Gavin, we're not looking for anything. He said, what are you guys looking for?
What, out here?
Yeah.
Nothing right now.
Just for people to come by.
Yeah, we're just, no, before we were looking because some people had driven into the cemetery and I didn't want to be disrespectful. They're showing the respects toward their loved ones, so. But keep going back this way.
RS Paranormal said, LOL same, and Gavman said, have you ever been to Michigan? That is where I live, and I don't know any investigators there.
Yeah, I was just actually in Detroit a couple weekends ago. My girlfriend lives in Canada, right across the border there. I'm supposed to be doing the Detroit 6th Precinct. I'm supposed to be coming back up in October. Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, I'm in the right place. There's a few teams around there. There's DPX. They're a big Detroit team. I'm trying to think on the top of my head. It's kind of hard, but I can put it later when this loads in the YouTube. I can put it in chat. I'll put some Detroit, Michigan area teams in that. Maybe you can hook up with.
6 people.
So, but if you're just joining us, we are still walking through the cemetery here. I've been talking about wild boars running crazy here.
Exploring with M&A Paranormal says, you should come to the UK. Lots of very, very old buildings. And my friend RJ just said, I love paranormal stuff.
I would love to go to the UK or go overseas. The farthest I've been out of is either Canada and I've been to Mexico. That's pretty much it. Pretty much. Hey, here's the thing too. Our budget for the show is 0.
Gavman44 said, I've been investigating this place called Dudgeon Swamp because I live close by, so that's what I've been investigating.
Hey, you know what's funny? Everyone thinks they got to investigate the programs you see on all the TV shows. Do you know how many cool investigations I've been on where it's just some rundown little place someone used to work at and they got us into it? I love going to places that aren't on the map yet because you might be the first one or maybe the only 10th person in there, maybe say. So it's kind of cool.
Creepy Colossal said, go to the monk's house in the UK. Haha. Paranormal teams have been and have all bailed.
Really?
No one can handle it, he said.
Why? What's happening that they're bailing?
Must be super creepy.
I don't know. I'm the weird guy. When I hear noises, I go haul into it like, oh man, trying to get all my equipment up to see if we can catch something. What are we at for time here?
33:49.
33 minutes in that? Yeah. I will go a little bit longer.
RS Paranormal said, I've got to investigate the battlegrounds of Gettysburg, Antietam, and Harper's Ferry.
Now, see,
that's pretty cool.
That's cool. I've heard people have investigated them, and they get EVPs of sounds like cannons going off. I think that would be cool, even if it's or just a residual. I think that's just cool. You get catch a residual, even if it's an apparition residual or the sounds of the war. Especially if you're sitting there and you didn't call nothing out, and it's like all you can hear is crickets. Then you listen back to your EVP and you're cannons going off.
Creepy Colossal said, the house is possessed by a poltergeist/demonic entity, and the house is used sometimes for satanic rituals. Gavin Payne said, there are a lot of small and rundown buildings in Michigan that have had multiple homicides nearby.
Yeah, I don't know. Detroit, Michigan, I was doing research a few years back. I was asked to do research for a pilot TV show, and it was going to be about urban exploration with a little bit of paranormal in it. Man, when I looked up abandoned places, that showed Detroit. There was like 8 blocks of just abandoned buildings. They closed down the fire departments and the police station. They pulled them out of there because they said no one should be living there. And I'm like, that's just crazy.
Gavman44 said, I learned that Satan uses your fear against you. That sounds like Pennywise the Clown.
Yeah.
RS Paranormal said, paranormal lockdown did 100 hours there. At some place I must have mentioned earlier. And Creepy Colossal said, what TV show are you making and where can I watch it? LOL.
Honestly, I'm just doing YouTube. Everyone gets asked. I hate to say it. A lot of people get excited if they're on a couple of these ghost stories or paranormal witness things and that. I get emails all the time. Everyone gets emails to be on there if you got a team.
RS Paranormal said they were talking about the Monk House.
Yeah, for the
demonic and
for all the stuff, the satanic. Hey, they put it in the. Hey, they wrote it down in the chat room so I can look it up later.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm all about. I don't do a lot of research, but I like looking up stuff. I like watching. I like watching other people's videos too, see what they're up to, different techniques or equipment they use. And you know, earlier I was talking about bringing anything out. One of my friends, we were in a mental hospital, or was it a mental hospital? No. We were in this hotel, 7-story hotel. And hold on one second, I'll get to the question. But I'm down the hall. All I hear is, I'm like, what the frig? I come running down the hall. She had a freaking taser. Her idea was she was tasing the air to try to charge up the air around to help if a spirit wanted to manifest. I thought that was so outside the box, but it was cool. All I told her was, just don't hit any other investigators in your group. We don't need anyone tased.
Gavman said he has to go, but great live stream. And not RS Paranormal. Creepy Colossal said, ask RS Paranormal, wasn't it proven that the paranormal lockdown faked some of their stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like to bash shows, but before I get to that, who was it?
Gavman.
Gavman. Hey, get a chance. Check out our courthouse part 1 investigation. We got some really cool EVPs and personal experiences on there. And next Sunday is part 2. We're over across the field at the old jail. We had a lot of weird stuff happen. But you have a good night, and thanks for coming. Now, back about the lockdown, the shows and that. I try not to bash the TV shows because people got to realize a lot of the shows are for entertainment. They're not for real learning. I mean, some of the equipment they use and stuff, you know, people see it like, oh, that looks cool. But a lot of time it's more entertainment. People don't realize that. I try telling people you can't fault them because they say it's entertainment. But I do have to say one thing. Without these TV shows for the last decade or wherever they've been going, people like me or you guys listening on the show, you wouldn't get into locations. They've made it so mainstream, you can pretty much go and ask someone, say, hey, I have a paranormal team. And oh, yeah, we've seen the shows. You can come on in. So they have helped us open doors.
Exploring with M&A Paranormal said, taser LOL. And RS Paranormal said some of the stuff was faked. Gavman44 said he will have a good night. And RS Paranormal said, I can program a website if you want to start a network. Oh, might have to get in contact with them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I started the Facebook thing, like I told you, for the YouTubers and people looking for YouTube. Honestly, I think you're sometimes better off to go watch some of these guys like us, like me and you guys, doing our YouTube channels, because I know for sure I have integrity. Pretty much what you see is what happened. I edit stuff because anybody knows that paranormal investigating, it's like fishing. It's very boring at times. And you can't just show that video of you sitting around like just going.
RS Paranormal said, direct message me on Instagram. And Ronald Ciola said, gotta go bye.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. But, I don't want to go this way. It's too sunny. But, I lost track of my thoughts now. Oh, no. That's been pretty good. I've been going for 30 minutes staying on track. But, yeah.
40, actually.
The what?
40, actually.
We're probably going to shut it down here in just a few minutes. I want to let people know, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. if you got a YouTube channel, hit me up. Let me know about it so I can find you, because it is hard to find us on YouTube. If you're not one with 10,000 subscribers, you don't see it. Got a question?
Ronald said, no problem, love the paranormal. And RS Paranormal said, you're a vampire.
Yeah.
You don't like no sunlight.
It's I'm in Florida, man. It's too bright. But yeah, if I'm all about giving back. I'll subscribe to everybody. Let's make a network of us, because if there's more of us littler guys working together, networking and sharing and all that, we'll get more people to see what we're actually doing, instead of just always going to YouTube and the top 5 always get shown up in your search. So that's why I kind of created that page. I'm all about sharing and helping. I thought someone was coming in the cemetery. But and if you haven't gotten to, check out the courthouse. It was in Green Cove Springs, Florida, Clay County. And actually, I think it made it on Ghost Hunters, I think, finally, after all these years. And part 1 is the courthouse, where we got some cool stuff. We actually, my buddy kind of pissed off the judge a little bit, and he gave quite the EVP back, letting him know his opinion of my friend. And then next Sunday, we're going to do part 2, the jail, which was really cool.
RS Paranormal said, I'm a light tech for drama club. I understand ya.
Yeah. And you know what?
Unbearable heat.
I know people call it paradrama and that, but honestly, there's drama in there's drama at my work, there's drama here, there's drama there. And just, I always tell people, you gotta surround yourself with positive people, like-minded people. And the people that got the drama in that, people want to attack them and say stuff. Those people are type of people that are action gets reaction. You just let them go to the side. I've seen so many people over the years, the paranormal field, once people start interacting with them, arguing with them and fighting them with the drama, those people are gone. They're not even in the paranormal now. Right? Some of the people, they were big paranormal investigators. Now they're doing something else they're supposedly experts in. It's crazy.
Creepy Colossal said, be careful where you hook up with some parachannels on YouTube. Some are pretty dodgy.
Oh, really? Why are they dodgy?
RS Paranormal said, that crap hurts walking out of the auditorium after sitting in the dark programming lights and crap.
So, hey, where's everybody from? Give us a shout out in the chat room where you're all from. Any chat?
Not yet.
Oh, I guess I should tell you, I'm from Florida. I'm on the east coast of Florida, about 30 minutes south of Cocoa Beach.
Creepy Colossal said, like some of the stuff they say makes no sense. Then when you correct them, they block you, etc., etc. Plus they dabble in other stuff, the other parrot channels.
You know what? I'm all about people. I've come across people that show me stuff, and I know it's not paranormal. Like right now, if I took a picture walking, like it showed a dirt road here, this here, me walking and hitting this road, if we took a picture in the dark, I'd probably look like I had like 1,000 orbs around me. And I had people show me pictures, and it's all about being respectful to them too. You don't tell them, hey, you're a freaking moron, it's the dirt. Those people aren't going to ask the question or ask for help anymore, because now they're embarrassed. Just tell them, give them that observation of, hey, you know that rocks and dirt you're walking on kicked up some stuff, and the way your flash hits it reflects off it. It makes it look like orbs. Say it like that. If they get nasty in that, then you just walk away and go, I'm just giving you my opinion.
Exploring with M&A said he's from Shropshire, England. Creepy Colossal said Manchester, England. And RS Paranormal said, I operate in the Baltimore, D.C. corridor and southeast Pennsylvania.
Sweet. Boy, we got people across the pond. This is awesome. But yeah, I said this earlier in the show. It's all about a respect thing, talking to people. And you got to be able to take it. I send evidence sometimes, I'm not sure about EVPs. I'll send it, or pictures, I'll send it to other people. And they come back to me. You know how many times I had someone tell me, no, dude, that's so-and-so. I'm like, it is? Then I listen back through my headset. I'm like, oh, crap, you're right. But it's all about if you can handle being critiqued or wrong. I've been wrong quite a few times on stuff, but it made me not look like an idiot then when I posted my evidence on the internet somewhere, the social medias. That's all about that's why I say network, man. If you get some evidence, have a couple other teams that you can send it to. Don't tell them what you think it is. Get their opinion back. So then if you got a couple people saying, no, that's a definite EVP, or they're saying this, or that's just a freaking dust bunny floating around, or they're like, I don't know what the hell that thing is. It's all about networking and that. But we got any more questions?
Yeah, he said something. Creepy Colossal said, for sure, I agree. I just don't like when people make up an answer. Like, I'd rather they say, I don't know to the answer to that. Let me do some research and then get back to you, not make it up. And RS Paranormal said, done that with a couple of GH guys, ghost hunter guys.
You know what I do? If I don't know it, I usually go, you know what? I know some people that might know this. I'll direct you their way. That's a thing. I'm telling you, and the way I'm talking, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. I screw up stuff. I've messed up over the years where I thought I had evidence. I'm starting to question some stuff from back in the old days, the techniques we used. But I'm all about, I'll send it to somebody else. If I don't know, I'm not going to make something up. I'm going to tell you, hey, you know what? I know a couple of people that are like my friend Rich Valdez. He's a demonologist. I don't really know nothing about that. So I'm not going to tell you, oh yeah, you take a cross and this and that and you'd be good to go. No, I'll tell you, if it's something going on I'm not sure about, especially if it's a residential, I'll send it to my buddy Rich, let him figure out what it is. If it is something demonic or something he needs to work on, then I'll go out with him to learn in that. And that's all. We're getting near the end here. I'm going to end this here in just a minute. If there's one thing you can go away with today from the show is keep your mind open. This field is always changing every year. New equipment that's debunked, different stuff that's debunked. It's just always changing. So just keep your mind open to keep learning. I know people that have been doing it for 30 years, and I always hear them going, oh my God, I'm still learning stuff. That's awesome. So, there's one more question.
Creepy Colossal said, I'm a Levian, so knowing demon-related stuff is something I have to know as part of my religion.
I'll see, that's cool. If I'm friends with you, I'd be like, go talk to that dude. That's part of his religion. I don't know why people feel the need of, oh, I'm insecure. I have to know everything. I don't care. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you, because I'm telling you, people, you might be able to fool a couple people the first time that you know something, but then someone's going to catch you in a little white lie. And I always tell people, just know people, network. But we're going to be ending here.
Okay.
Oh, there's two more questions?
Well, Creepy Colossal said, but I also know some stuff about other things that I've self-taught. And RS Paranormal said, I've worked with my priest, and he's given me some tools for that kind of stuff.
So now that's cool. It's all about gaining knowledge. Just keep learning in that. But it's never bad to ask for help or tell someone, yeah, I'm not sure, but I have a friend. Would you mind if I gave them your number so they can contact you? It's all it just let go of that ego and just do your thing, man. Network with people, and I'm not a guy of I got information, but I think some of it's useless. I'm not sure. But I know a lot of people. I know people that know people that know people that know people. But we're going to cut it here because we're almost at an hour. I appreciate everyone checking the show out. This is the first time going live in 6 years. Hopefully I didn't gab everybody's ear off, blah, 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 blah. But if you haven't checked it out, check out the courthouse investigation. Next week, we'll be uploading the jail, which was really cool. And we got a couple other segments that'll be coming up. One of them is called Paratopics with Bob. I'll be talking about different subjects, and I'll have guests on. We got kind of a weird way of bringing them on, so you'll have to check that out. And the last thing I'm working on this year, kind of live out in the field, not the next time, the time after that, every other week we're going to go live in between the uploads. And I got a thing called Paranormal Street Talk. It's going to be kind of cool because we're going to go into the unknown of people that might not know about the paranormal and see what they had to think about us and everything. But my son's saying there's one more question.
Well, two. Well, not questions, but RS Paranormal said same, and Exploring with M&A Paranormal said you've made some good points, and I agree totally with what you've said. Glad I tuned in. Looking forward for your next video.
Sweet. Thank you. And the way I always ended my old shows is I always say keep the positive energy flowing, and everyone have the rest of a good weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. I don't know where we'll be. We'll figure it out. We good?
Hello.